This is section 1.4, practice A. We're on the back of the worksheet. They're telling you that ray xz bisects angle wxy. So that happens in all three of these examples where you have a ray that's bisecting an angle. Find the two angle measures that are not given in the diagram. Each diagram has three angles, two little ones and then the big one. So if you have a ray bisecting an angle, think about what that means. If that word bisects is in the problem, it's going to mean that it's an easy problem. Bisect means it's splitting the two angles equally. So I'm using those congruent arcs to indicate that those angles are the same. So all that means is if this little angle here is 39, then this one over here is 39. So you're doing that for all of these angles. These angles here match. Now over here, notice how I stagger my arcs. That way I can tell this angle and this angle are the same. Over here they have one arc going the whole way across. They're talking about that meaning the measure of the big angle. So you can use two arcs to show that angles are congruent as well if there's two on each. So these two little angles are the same. What I do for this one, if I want to talk about the whole entire angle, I just kind of put one of those bracket things there. So we want to find the other two angle measures, and we kind of already did that over here with number 23. Angle ZXY is 39 degrees. What's the measure of the big angle? Be 78. This little angle is 57. That little angle is 57. What's the measure of the entire thing? Okay, so that big angle is 114. If the whole entire angle is 146, what does that mean about these two little pieces? We know they're the same. We adjusted those marks. What would each angle be? Each one would be 73. Okay, so if you know the little angle measure, the other one matches it, whatever that number is, multiplied by 2 to get the big one. That's how these ones play out. This one's a little bit different. They tell you the big one, so divide by 2 to get the little ones. That's anytime you see that word bisects. Okay, 26 through 28, same kind of thing. You have a ray bisecting an angle. So this ray bisects the big angle. That means those two pieces are the same. Same thing over here. Those two angles are the same, so I put matching arcs on them. Same thing here. Now the difference here is these are expressions now. So I'm not telling you that this angle is 39 degrees. I'm telling you it's 7 times the number minus 6. That's a little bit tougher. But the idea is you know these are the same. So if they're the same, show that they're the same. Put an equal sign in between their measures, and then you could solve for it. So you want to change this from geometry to algebra. Now I know this angle equals this angle, and I can write it any way I want. I could have switched these if I wanted to. But I wrote it this way because the 7x has a bigger coefficient than the 5x. That way when I subtract 5x from both sides, I'm getting 2x minus 6 equals 2. Then I can add 6 to both sides and then divide by 2. X is 4. Plug that in to figure out the measures of the angles. They want you to find the measure of the big angle, right? Well, 7 times 4 is 28. 28 minus 6 is 22. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. You should not be surprised that these are the same measure. Remember, bisect means it's going to split it in half. Weren't these all the same measures also? Okay, now make sure you answer the question. What is the measure of angle ABC? That's the big angle. 22 and 22 gives you 44. Okay, so now that you see how to do this, why don't you pause this, and why don't you do 27 and 28 on your own? I'll have it worked out here, that way when you're done pausing you can see. I don't know what these angle measures are, but I know they're the same as each other. That's what bisect means. I wrote my equation like this because the 11x is bigger than the 8x. That way I get a positive x on the left side. Plug that x value in. Get your two little angles, they're each 43. So then that big angle is 86. These two angles, I don't know what they are, but I know they're the same. That's what the marks mean. Since I have the freedom to write my equation either way, I'm going to write it with the bigger coefficient on the left. Plug that x value in. Okay, so we'll do 5 times 9 is 45, plus 13. For this one, we'll do 9 times 9 minus 23. And make sure you indicate how big that big angle is.